Hi, and welcome to my reflection number 4. This reflection is going to be about the different wearable technology that we have, some health discoveries and FDA approvals, and also about social media a little bit. So let's dive right into this slide. This TED Talk from Alison Graham pretty much talked about how social media is making us more unsocial. So we as a society are becoming pretty much more unsocial. Like, you don't see anyone having small talk in waiting rooms anymore. People are just glued to their phones, like looking down. Like, God forbid you make eye contact with someone and like smile. Like, no one wants to engage anymore, it seems like. I think personally this is going to affect relationships because some of the guys I've talked to are like, some of these girls like won't even give you the time of day. And like, how are you supposed to like meet someone if you're not even like looking out from your phone? I think that is one way it's going to impact us. And also kids. I go out to restaurants and I see these little kids like playing on their tablets so they're not causing a scene or in a restaurant or somewhere in a public place. And it's just all the instant gratification of, oh, if I make a scene here, like, I know I'm gonna get the iPad and I'm gonna be happy. So I'm interested to see how our generation takes the parenting aspect of like getting cell phones early. Some kids I know in like kindergarten have iPhones. I'm like, you need an iPhone? What do you need an iPhone for? Um, and I'm just interested to see how we take the social media and kind of apply it to our kids and future generations. That's something that is really interesting to me. So this article from Live Science talked about fitness trackers and how accurate are they really. I wear my Apple Watch pretty much every single day. It's not the newest generation. It's the first one that came out. Oh my God, because it was on sale. And I work as a nursing assistant. I walk, according to my watch, like 25 miles a weekend. I do doubles on the weekends, so I walk quite a bit around the building. So I've always wondered like how accurate this really is. And your heart rate, I know it'll tell you like if your heart rate is going up to like a dangerous level. That's only happened to me once. I was in class actually, and it started vibrating. I looked down and it said like, oh, your heart rate's dangerously high. It was like 180 something. I'm like, I'm just sitting in class. Granted, I had like probably a cup of coffee that morning, but I'm just sitting in class. Like, I don't feel like my heart's beating on my chest. Like, that definitely was not accurate from what I was feeling. I was feeling pretty normal. So that kind of was my first introduction to, hey, maybe these aren't the best pieces of technology, the most accurate. I know with the Fitbits, I know they're not known to be super accurate, especially with their heart rate tracking and everything. So this article was pretty interesting to me, especially because it brought up the sleep. I don't sleep with my watch on; it dies within like a day, so I have to charge it pretty much every night, like my phone. So I was interested to see like how well it tracks your sleep and like your REM cycles. I don't know how it would do that, but reading this article, it kind of sheds some light on, yeah, it can do that based on your heart rate. And if you move around in your sleep, it can kind of measure that to see how restful your sleep is. But according to this article, it's not super reliable. So again, kind of going off of the same, how accurate is my smartwatch or my fitness tracker, kind of tangent. This apparently they are not accurate at all. They're pretty wildly inaccurate. 40%. This study did. I read a study that did a couple on my last reflection. I read a study that did a couple of the wellness trackers, the fitness trackers, and some ranked higher than others. I can't remember off the top of my head which one was the most accurate, but I remember it wasn't something that I've heard of, not something that's super mainstream. It wasn't the Apple Watch, wasn't the Fitbit. So I mean, these ones that we are buying as consumers clearly aren't the most accurate. So I'm wondering why we aren't moving more towards that standard and purchasing the ones that are accurate. I would feel like if you're really if you're really into improving your health and wellness, then like you would want to do it in the most efficient way as possible. And apparently the way that we're using these things, not very efficient. So my final slide here is a Los Angeles Times article that talks about a new FDA approved implantable device that stimulates weight loss. So basically the way this works, it manipulates the appetite signals that go in between your stomach and your brain. I have heard of like bypass surgery, and where that makes your stomach smaller so you feel fuller faster, therefore you eat less. I've also heard of the balloons that you can swallow, and kind of the same principle. It fills up some space in your stomach. That way you feel fuller faster and eat less. This I thought was interesting because it was kind of a different approach. It was an implant, and it sends electrical impulses from what I gather. And I'm interested to see how this works in comparison to having an actual smaller stomach, to see if this actually helps you feel fuller faster. Thank you for listening to my reflection number 4. I'll see you next time.